All right. How's it going, everyone? We are live. It's good to be back with you guys. We had some technical difficulties, but worked through it. So now we are live, and I've got a ton of information to share. So buckle up. I'm going to be streaming for at least an hour, maybe even 2 hours if we get any questions and are able to get through all our material. So I hope you're excited. I've got a ton of information to share with you guys. So first of all, as you notice from the title of the stream, we have crossed 1 million TVL. We actually have 1.27 million TVL between Ethereum and Arbitrum. So we actually crossed this a few days ago, maybe even a week ago. And that is super exciting. That's a big milestone. 1 million in TVL will generate about 1% in fees for the platform. And so we're off to a good start, right? Because that's $10,000 per year. So about $1,000 per month from the TVL we have right now. Of course, our target is hundreds of millions, if not billions, because, and that will directly affect the numbers as well. Obviously, we can't run a company or we can't buy enough Ys to pump it with $1,000 a month. But this is a really good start, and we have some big things cooking. You guys already know from previous streams and announcements that we know we have 50 million coming onto our platform within the next months from our partners at Keychain. So very exciting things here. Let me just check out the chat. I don't see any messages. So if this stream is indeed working, please let me know. Please say hi. We're supposed to be streaming on YouTube and on X. So if you're here, if you do see this, please go ahead and say hi. And let's go ahead and go to our next topic, which is the fact that we are now live on the Ethereum chain. You can see up in the upper hand corner, you can switch between Arbitrum, and then you can switch to Ethereum here. And if you look at the APYs aren't they aren't really active yet. They're mostly under 1%. We got wrapped Bitcoin with over 1%. And this is an interesting change too, because we don't have the ability to use wrapped Bitcoin as collateral on Arbitrum yet. So if you have some wrapped Bitcoin on the Ethereum chain, you can put it in here. And 1% APY, it's actually going to be more than this once we launch our farms. If we go over to Pendle and we check out the pools that we're integrating for the Ethereum chain, you can see here I favorited. We're actually not integrating this Lido 1100 day pool. We integrated the 411 day one for now. We may end up integrating the longer one too, depending on if the APY goes up or down between those pools. But notice we've got a Pump BTC pool. Pump BTC is offering yield on Bitcoin, and you can see it's a 138-day pool and at 9% APY. So once we integrate that, you can expect to see maybe 6 to 7% APY for just merely depositing wrapped Bitcoin into our protocol. For Ethereum, you can see we've got like 6.5% APY on Pendle. So that would translate into about 5% APY to be expected here really soon for our ETH depositors. And then lastly, for Athena's going to be the winner. This is our every USD farm. So whether it's a USDC, USDT, or DAI, we've got 18.2% source APY. That'll translate to about 14 or 15% APY for just merely depositing stable coins into Wise Lending. Now, if we go over to our power farms, you can see the only one that is wired up currently is our ETH farm. So this one is actually fully ready to go. You could go ahead and open up a position now and get that juicy APY if you wanted to. I'm definitely going to utilize this, but what I'm waiting for is lower gas. So actually you can see that gas is down to 10 Gwei right now. It's going to cost me about $106 to open up this power farm if I do it at 10 Gwei. I want to wait until it's at least single digit GUI. And, we've seen on the weekends, it usually goes down to sometimes even one GUI, which would then make it only about a $10 fee to open the Power Farm on Ethereum, which is fantastic considering the amount of work that's being done. You're taking out a flash loan, you got multiple different transactions all combined into one. There's a lot going on with these Power Farm positions. And the fact that you could open it for $10 at the lowest GUI amounts is absolutely incredible. So definitely this will get borrowed up. Our pool right now, you see Ethereum is only 5% borrowed. This will definitely get borrowed up to 90% utilization over the weekend. And then the same thing is going to happen with the USD deposits as soon as we have that all wired up, which should be either today or tomorrow. So very exciting things. You're going to start, and so on Monday, you could expect to come back here and see about 5% APY for Ethereum, like 12% or higher APY on the stable coins. And then we don't have the Bitcoin Power Farm ready yet, but when we do, it'll be over 5% APY on Bitcoin. And of course, that's all variable rates, right? So these rates can fluctuate a little bit, but the rates that they are now are pretty much to be expected. Athena is really high right now at 18.2%. That's because it's a bull market and the market's pumping. When the market's pumping, the funding rates go up, which makes Athena higher APY. So as long as we stay in this bull market, which is probably going to last at least until March, if not all the way till October 2025, you can definitely expect our USD farms to be offering some pretty juicy APY. All right, great. We got some people in the chat. It is working. That's good to see. I hope we're live streaming on X as well. Sometimes the restream doesn't work. I say YouTube comments right now. Hopefully we're also streaming on X. All right, so let's recap here for people that may have just popped in. Over 1 million, we got 1.2 million total value locked. We know we have 50 million more coming at the very least from our partners at Keychain. And Ethereum chain is live, and we have the ETH Power Farm wired up, ready to be used right now, just waiting for a low gas, which will happen on the weekend. And then the USD farms we should see within probably the next 12 hours or so. So very exciting stuff there. Next, I want to talk about. Let's see. First, let's actually talk about this bit of news right here. One of our community members was involved in this project, Meld, which was a decently, large-size project funded by Cardano. And I guess it says it's an ex-Cardano project, so I guess they aren't associated with Cardano anymore. But they basically, the community is saying they rugged. And so it looks like what happened here is that Meld is a lending and borrowing platform. Likewise is a lending and borrowing platform, but they had a token, right? And they launched their token. And what happened, if you read through this article, is that some big whales sold off their token significantly, and that caused their investors to lose faith in the project. And because the investors lost faith in the project, then the team for the project decided they wanted to shut down. And they said the reason for shutting down was that they, lost their investors and the fact that they didn't get any traction on the lending platform. They said, they got over 100,000 people signed up, over 100,000 people on Twitter. However, they only had less than 200 users or less than 300 active users. And so that was the reason for shutting down. So I want to dig into this a little bit because this, the community is not too happy about that. And I think there's definitely some merit there. I don't know anything about this situation, by the way. It was brought up to me. So I don't know all the details, but it seems to me that it's very silly to just, quit when it seems like they were just starting. Like, for instance, we've been going for months and months. We have less TVL than they did. I think they had like 33 million TVL. I'm not sure if that was just all the value of their token or what. but we have less than 300 active users. But I'm not going to quit. I mean, like, you got to understand, when you launch a product, especially a lending product, guys, lending is a very competitive space. You've got these huge giants like Aave, Spark Protocol, which is MakerDAO, Morpho Blue, like there's Compound, there's these huge giants in the space. So it's very, very competitive. So you can't be like, hey, we launched a product and it works, so now we expect $1 billion TVL and 10,000 active users. Like that's not how it works, guys. It's a market. So you have to constantly strive to find product market fits. And so that's something that you need to constantly strive to do. You can't just be like, we built it, it works, and expect everybody to come. Like building is only half the battle. You got to find the product market fit. You got to market your product. You got to keep on finding that product market fit until you have that traction. And it's really hard at first. Believe me, I know. I've been in the trenches for the last 4 years doing this stuff, and most of that has been just building the tech. Right now, we just started with the whole marketing side of things. But I am not even close to deciding to, throw in the towel. In fact, I will never throw in the towel as long as there is even a chance that Wise can be successful. Like Wise is, Wise is everything to me. So first of all, the community member that was involved in this was wondering if I could shed a light on why, Wise is so much better and why this couldn't happen to Wise. So there's like so many different reasons. Like this is just a completely different scenario, because first of all, the reason why the community feels rugged is mostly because the value of the token went down and then the team just capitulated. So with Wise, it's going to be a little different. So first of all, when you're talking about Meld, this is just a typical token that has, huge team wallets. They've got big VCs, big whales, and people that could just, nuke the price by selling. And that's exactly what happened. This is not something that can happen with Wise, because Wise, the token generation event, that 50-day auction that we had in 2020, distributed Wise very well. And we used all of that raise to create a massive liquidity pool on Uniswap. Right now, we have the second largest liquidity pool on Uniswap. There's like almost $200 million of liquidity there. And there's no whales. There's no whales because of the way that we distribute it. There's no team wallet. Nobody got cheap tokens. It was all, people had to buy at the market price. So, whale selling is not something that can happen with Wise. Now, if you were an investor in the auction for Wise, you currently are up on USD. However, you are down versus Ethereum. And the worst that you could be down versus Ethereum, if you got, depending on, your average price in the auction, is about 65 to 70% versus Ethereum. So what that means is basically, even though you're up a lot versus USD, Wise token has not, it's dropped slowly over time versus Ethereum. And so this is something that is just because, we haven't found our product market fit yet. We've been building our tech. We just launched our tech a few months ago, and it's going to take some time for us to build that traction and that revenue so that people will FOMO back into Wise again. And part of the stream, I want to talk about that, because I think it's time to start, really, really hyping up. I'm calling it a cult, the cult of Wise. There's this huge movement now in DeFi. The most exciting thing now is meme coins, right? And meme coins on Solana. There's a few meme coins on Ethereum, meme coins on Base, and meme coins even on Ape Chain now. And so this is the huge thing. There's like this guy called Murad, who had this, viral presentation, and talking about meme coins and what they are, why people like them. really caught on. It's bringing a lot of people into the space, and meme coins is like the thing, right? And Wise is not a meme coin. However, it has all the things that are good about a meme coin and more. And so, my whole thing is those diehard cultish, communities that are built with these meme coins, we can build an even better one for Wise, because the meme coins, their whole thing is believe in something, right? So you'll see this hashtag all over Twitter. Well, it's not even a hashtag, but just a catchphrase: believe in something. And what they mean by that is that the the people who really make it with these meme coin holdings, who are making like 100x, 1000x, well, they're delusionally believing in something that is backed by nothing and has quote unquote no utility. It's just a meme coin. And this delusional belief in something is what is allowing some people to make incredible gains. And my whole point is, I love the phrase believe in something, but wouldn't it be even better if that's something that you believed in had all the fundamentals there too? Because everything that makes a meme coin great, the fully diluted market cap, low market cap value, no whales, big liquidity. We do that even better than any meme coin that has ever existed. So we have all the fundamentals there, and we actually have something great to believe in, which is Wise Lending, a crypto savings account that is the lowest risk possible for the highest APY possible. I've been working with our marketing team a lot, and I think our marketing team is doing a pretty good job. We don't see a lot of results of that yet. All you're going to see is some high quality posts on Twitter, and a higher frequency of those posts. But we're still digging down and working through all our strategies. You're not going to really see the results of a good marketing team until at least 3 months into the marketing campaign. But we were doing some brand workshops, and as we were going through those brand workshops, I thought of the term bulletproof yield. Because what I'm trying to convey is what is Wise Lending? What is Wise at its essence? And what Wise is at its essence, it's a platform. It's a neobank. It's a platform. It's a crypto savings account that has the lowest possible risk-adjusted returns for deposits, with the highest amount of APY available, with the low for the lowest risk-adjusted assets. So this is really a category that not a lot of people are competing in, actually. Aave is competing in this category, right? They are offering what they call is the lowest risk-adjusted returns in crypto. But the problem with Aave is, although they are safe, their APY is terrible. It's absolutely terrible, and there's no reason for this, because Aave's whole thing is, we are not going to integrate yield sources because that's unsafe. And this is something that is not true anymore. It might have been true 3-4 years ago. It is not true now, because you cannot tell me that Aave is safer than Lido staked ETH. That's the same level of risk. It's one level of smart contract risk in a very decentralized system. I would say that Aave is, being that it's more complicated than Lido, I would say actually Aave is a teensy tiny bit riskier than Lido. So it's crazy to say that, hey, we're not going to integrate Lido yield sources into the protocol because that would compromise safety. That's not true at all. And so, see, that's something that we've done right here. We currently you can get up to 93% APY. Of course, it's not going to be 93% when you borrow up the whole pool. It's going to be 25, 35%. However, this is here, and we're using Lido, and we're using our own lending and borrowing platform. That is the lowest amount of risk possible. And you don't even have to take on the risk of this power farm, because this power farm you could actually get liquidated, right? if you just want to deposit ETH or deposit wrapped Bitcoin or deposit stablecoins, you're going to be getting the highest amount of returns you can possibly get with the absolute lowest bar of risk possible. And that is because you are putting, the asset, whatever it is, ETH, stablecoins, wrapped Bitcoin, into a pool that is protected by Chainlink oracles, so that yes, some of that pool can be borrowed out at any given time. However, Chainlink oracles are going to protect you so that, before there would be any bad debt, those Chainlink oracles are going to liquidate those borrowers and convert it back to ETH or stablecoins or wrapped Bitcoin to make sure that you're safe. And this is the same mechanism, the same exact mechanism, different code. We built our own code, but it's the same mechanism that Aave uses. You're putting your crypto in pools and they're protected by Chainlink oracles. So it's the same level of risk as Aave. It's just higher APY because it's more efficient and much, much better. So that's what Wise Lending is. So that's that's why I'm excited, because we don't really have competitors for this. Like, everybody thinks that Aave is, this unbeatable giant. And that's just not true, because they haven't innovated. And there's this huge opportunity to have a lending platform that is, lowest possible risk and highest possible returns, because every single one of our competitors is not going for this. They are compromising in some way. They're not immutable smart contracts. So there is, multi-sig risk with the team. The team can rug. They are using their own token to inflate the APY. So you're taking on the risk of another token. There's a myriad of other ways where, all the other lending platforms, they're not even trying to do what we're trying to do. So I'm very excited about this. Now let's go back to Meld, because we went over the first issue here of why this could never happen with Wise, because we talked about Wise token is much more superior than the Meld token. You can't just dump Wise token. Currently Wise token is sitting at its price floor in ETH. And even now, after we're at, the lowest possible point we could be versus ETH, 4 years later, we're still up significantly, like multiple X in value versus USD from the time when people invested. And also, I think it's important to note that, there's been over 100 million, I believe 250 million plus Wise that has been cashed out. So that means that people have made tens of millions of dollars on cashing out their Wise. There's, $250 million plus cumulatively. And all that value that was provided by Wise. And even after so many people have cashed out, we still have $200 million in liquidity, and we still have, a lot of holders, even though we're right now sitting at our ETH price floor. So that's something that I'm very proud of. I have brought value to the community. And even though right now we're sitting at our price floor. So if you didn't believe in Wise, if you didn't understand what we're doing, if you didn't understand that we just spent 4 years and millions of dollars building this beautiful product that's going to, hopefully become the #1 lending platform. And even if it doesn't become the #1 lending platform, we know we got at least $50 million coming onto it. We know we're going to be successful. We know we're going to create revenue. We know that's going to pump Wise and make the value of Wise go up. And that's something I'm super proud of. So anyways, the token. The second of all, we talked a little bit about how, product market fit. You got to find product market fit. You can't just be like, hey, we launched it. We don't have a billion users, so I guess we're just going to quit now. And also, let's go on to the next thing, investors, right? These guys lost their investors because the token value crashed. Well, guess what? You're looking right now at the only investor in Wise. That would be me. And so I'm not going to leave for multiple reasons. Number one being that I invested pretty much my whole entire net worth into building Wise and Wise Lending. That is the truth. The majority of my net worth is actually unrealized because I put it into building this platform. So that's really important. And then second of all, like even if let's say something terrible happened to me and I'm gone. We still have Vitali, our lead dev. We still have Renee, super smart German scientist, another Solidity dev. We've got plenty of people capable of carrying the torch of Wise. And maybe they don't have my vision, but they're fully capable of developing. And somebody else with a vision for continuing Wise could take up that torch, because all our contracts are open source. Our protocol works just fine. It's fully decentralized. It doesn't rely on me. I'm part of a multi-sig that even if I went away, the rest of the devs would then control the multi-sig, and it would be just fine. And even in the worst case scenario, you could always just fork the code and relaunch as a community takeover if that's something that the community ever wanted to do. So the community is protected from anything happening where it's just like, oh, we're not going to just close the doors. That isn't something that can feasibly happen. So the other thing about Wise is that it's already live. so all you need is a little bit of maintenance to relaunch these pools when the maturity date runs out, and it's going to work just fine. It's already deployed. We just make sure the websites don't go down, or just any third party could fork the websites and launch their own versions of the website, and it would work just fine, because the smart contracts are not going anywhere. So anyway, that's Meld. Let me check in and see how we got. Trustless yield, bulletproof yield. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like the term. I think that bulletproof yield is something that can really define us. So I want to talk about Wise Token, and I want to talk about Wise Token a lot, actually, because we need to build this cult, guys. But before I get into that, I've got one more announcement to talk about, and that is our partnership. And so we have a bunch of partnerships. You guys know that, first of all, we got a strategic partnership with Keychain. They're going to be putting $50 million onto our platform. We also have a strategic partnership with Klavi. So this partnership, this is actually not a new one, because I may have even mentioned Klavi before on previous streams, but Klavi's been around for over a year, and I was actually one of the first investors. I think maybe even the first investor in Klavi. So I put $10,000 into Klavi when they did their first raise. They raised like a couple $100,000. They also put about $300,000 of their own money into this project. And what Klavi is, by the way, super impressed by their team. I'm becoming very close with these guys, and they are building a luxury wallet. And so you can see a picture of it right here, but there's two parts. There's this part right here, which is called the vault, and you can see it's got a screen on it. And then on the top, there's actually a hole right here where the key goes. So the key is like a little Trezor wallet, a little handheld Trezor type wallet. So a vault and a key. And let me just show you a video of it here so you can see. So you can see there's like a bunch of vaults on pedestals, and you see here's like the key, which is like a little Trezor wallet type of thing. And so these guys are doing something truly, truly unique. And something that nobody else is doing. Currently, nobody else is doing in the space. And that is building a luxury wallet, because these vaults, the base models are going to be like $5,000. And these are luxury wallets. Now, the little keys are actually independent wallets that can be sold, just like a Trezor or a Ledger. And that'll be like the entry value into the ecosystem. And you could probably get those for much cheaper, probably comparable to a Trezor or a Ledger. But their main clientele are going to be, whales and businesses, and they're appealing to the luxury side of the markets. And this is something that nobody's doing. Like, do you know of any other luxury wallets? No. Well, guess what? Guess how many whales there are in Bitcoin and Ethereum and in crypto. There's a lot of whales, and there's also a lot of institutions. And so right now there doesn't exist a luxury wallet for those high net worth individuals. And these guys are very well poised to completely take over this market. Like these are going to be the Ferraris of wallets. Everybody's going to want one, and you can even participate at the floor level by having the little ones. And something that really excites me about this wallet, because before, like I didn't even want one. I was like, my Trezor works just fine. I'm not a flashy guy. Like I could have several Ferraris, several Lamborghinis if I wanted them. I don't. I even actually recently sold my car to convert it into Bitcoin recently, like within the last 3 months. Like I'm currently I'm renting from in-laws right now with my family. They got a nice big house. I'm not a toys guy. Like I don't have flashy things right now. Like every little bit of money is going into crypto, and I'm either, paying the dev team for Wise, or I'm buying crypto, and that's what I do with my money. So, but the thing that makes me really want one of these is finding out the tech behind it. Because one thing you guys may not know about even ledgers and Trezors, like if somebody asks you what's the safest wallet in the world, you probably say maybe a Trezor or a ledger, right? Well, actually, no, that's not going to be the case. Actually, Klavi is going to be the safest, and I'll tell you why. So Trezor and Ledger, they're both cold storage, wallets, right? They're pretty safe. However, the one thing that can actually shut them down is the fact that they use the cloud. They use the cloud. So the information is spread over the cloud. And if the cloud goes down, then your crypto is basically locked. You won't be able to access your wallet. So for instance, if you have Trezors and Ledgers, and the U.S. government, well, thank God we don't have somebody that in office that would want to shut it down. But let's say they did. Let's say if you live in a country that doesn't like crypto, well, the government could shut down the servers that are creating the cloud, and that could lock your crypto. So that and also the fact that there is a cloud, and that you're putting information to and from a cloud, that creates more attack vectors than there needs to be. And guess what? Klavi doesn't use that method. It doesn't have that attack vector. Like, how is that possible? How doesn't it? Well, because these vaults, they are each full nodes, both for Ethereum and for Bitcoin. There is a Bitcoin full node and an Ethereum full node inside this device, this vault device. And so what that means is that you can process your own transactions on Bitcoin and on Ethereum. Now, this isn't this isn't a full staking node, like how Ethereum takes 32 ETH currently to have like a staking node. Not that type of, like, just the transaction processing full side. But however, it is a full node. Same thing with Bitcoin. This isn't a Bitcoin miner. It doesn't mine Bitcoin, but it does run a full node on Ethereum. Like, that's something that I actually learned recently. Did you guys know that? Like, you can run a full node on Ethereum, and you can run a full node on Bitcoin, and you don't have to do the mining part. Like, the mining part, probably couldn't fit within the device. And also, like on Ethereum, you need to put 32 Ethereum just to run that node. But the point is, there's full nodes in this device, which means you process your own transactions. You're the one that confirms your transactions. You don't need the cloud. You don't need to rely on other miners. You don't need to send this to other nodes. You are literally part of what is providing Bitcoin and providing Ethereum security. You're running a node, which is great, and you can process your own transactions. And that really simplifies things a lot, and creates a lot more safety, because you don't have this cloud issue where you're sending information to and from the cloud that could, potentially be intercepted, or the cloud could be shut down if the server farms are shut down by a big enough entity. You don't have any of that. As long as you have got an internet connection and power, you will be able to process your own transactions and run this node. So that's why I want one of these things, because that's huge. And like, I think it's very cool. And, I could talk about these all day, but, there's one more thing too. So running a full node, it does create some heat. So there does need to be a cooling system within these devices. And I don't know if you guys know a lot about cooling systems, but if you look at like Bitcoin miners, there's usually some type of like fans or coolant tubes, to keep the heat down. Well, that's the cheap stuff. This is a luxury device. And so what that means is that they can have much cooler ways to disperse the heat. And so the way these devices disperse heat is there's a core of metal. There's a core of high-grade special metal inside this device. It's actually Damascus steel. If you guys don't know what Damascus steel is, you should probably look at some YouTube videos of like, making cool swords out of Damascus steel. People, make swords out of Damascus steel since the olden days because it's flexible. But another, it's very good for making swords. But another property of it is that it disperses heat very well. And this is actually jewelry grade Damascus steel. Inside these devices, you got a core, and then it connects to plates on the back of this device so that it actually pulls heat from the middle of the device and disperses it out the back. And it works very well for dispersing the heat. There's not a ton of heat to be dispersed either. Like, it works so well, the thing will just get, mildly warm to the touch. It's not like it's going to be hot. You can't like cook an egg on the back of it or anything. And it's just a very well-designed device. One of the co-founders used to work for some type of aerospace engineering, and so as they were designing this device, he was the one that came up with the whole heat dispersion, and that's literally was his job to do this type of thing. So he can build it, run all the simulations, and actually create one that actually works because he's actually trained to do this stuff. So it's going to be a very cool, very high tech device, and this is probably going to do extremely, extremely well. And they don't need to sell a lot. Like, they only need to sell 10,000 devices to make $70 million in revenue next year. That is their target. And even if they only sell 3,000 devices, they're already going to beat the revenue of Treasure and Ledger. And by the way, they've already sold devices as a test, and people want these things. There's businesses that want multiple of them. There's tons of different uses. Let's actually go to Clavy.io, and we can actually see what's going on. If we go to here, so here's their website, Clavy.io, and you could click on what is Clavy, and it's got some nice videos there, and then it tells you all about it. So that's what they are. And here's where it gets to the exciting part, because I showed you this image, right? How they've got a interface, basically like a phone screen on one side of the Clavy. So we are really good partners with Clavy now. That $10,000 that I invested, well, they're doing a second round now, and I am funding 20% of that round. So I put in a significant additional amount of money to fund this round. And with that comes a partnership. Now, this is probably going to happen either way, whether I invested or not. It's like they already have loved us for over a year and have wanted to integrate with us. But the specific way they're going to integrate with us is that Clavy. So the Clavy business model is not to sell devices. They don't make money off of selling the devices. They actually are going to make money off being the hub for luxury crypto and then using crypto, kind of like how like Apple phones, that's just part of it. That like they've got the App Store, right? And they're like, that's actually not a good example, but basically they want to be the premier place that people want to, the premier device that people want to use, that just makes it so easy to navigate through crypto and in a really safe way, provides tons of benefits, and just is this luxury device that everybody's going to want. Well, they're going to put Wise on this, and Wise Lending. Wise Lending is going to be basically the integrated and recommended savings app, so that when you use a Clavy and you're going to have wallets, and remember, who are they selling these Clavies to? Mostly whales and big businesses, people that have got lots of money, lots of Bitcoin and lots of Ethereum. And so basically, there's going to be the preferred option. Hey, do you want to start earning yield? Do you want to put this USDC on Wise Lending and start earning 15% APY very safely? Like, it's going to be right there at their fingertips, integrated into this device. And there's going to be a lot of whales who have the potential to just, one click, and a lot of their money, their crypto, gets deposited onto Wise Lending. So this is really big for us. And very soon, within the next week or two, I'm expecting a letter of intent. Letter of intent is not as strong as a like the signed letter we got for the 50 million. That was an actual promise, a promise from them. That was actually an actual signed strategic partnership. But a letter of intent just says, hey, this is what we intend to do. Explaining what I just told you about, putting Wise on the Klavi wallet. And so these guys are launching next year. Q3 is when they're going to have their big pre-sale. They'll probably be sold out by that time, but basically Q3 next year is when all the big vaults go out. And they're also going to, like, if you want in the ecosystem, you're also going to have the ability to buy it cheaper, just the key, which is the top part. And so it's going to be the safest wallet in existence. There's literally nothing at this kind of security level, because it doesn't even use the cloud. So very, very cool stuff. All right, let me check back in with the stream. Oh, I must have. I think you guys. Unfortunately, this thing for me, it doesn't scroll. So if you guys didn't, if your guys' question scrolled off, I'm sorry about that. You can feel free just to ask it again. Does Wise referral staking end in 10 years? Wasn't sure. Vest, no. Referral staking doesn't. It never ends. It doesn't end in 10 years. There's no end on Wise referrals. It's going to be the same way forever. And that's something that's hard coded. Like, we can't even change it. So don't need to worry about that. You guys with some dirty comments here. And it says, and if it still breaks, you have some kind of recovery of keys to get the new one. Yes. Yes. So there's multiple ways. So if this device breaks, right? So first of all, you have got the vaults, and the vault, it doesn't matter if the vault breaks. Like first of all, when you buy the vault, you buy servicing with the vault. So they'll service it. They'll get you a new one. Whatever needs to happen there's no keys or anything that are on the vaults. So the vault could be taken or stolen, and it doesn't matter, because that's not where that's not where the keys are. The private keys are actually partially in the key, the little thing that you take off the top, right? And you can have as many of those as you want. So you could have one vault and 5 keys, and you could give, one to your mom, one to your, lawyer, whatever. And as long as you have one of those keys, then you're just fine. And those keys, you can pair them with the vaults, and with it. And so if the key and the vault are working together, it can produce a seed phrase for you if you want. So you could use that key to generate your seed phrase, and then you know your seed phrase, and then it doesn't matter if you destroy everything. As long as you have your seed phrase, you can always create a new wallet as long as you have your seed phrase, right? Now you don't have to generate a seed phrase, because when you generate a seed phrase, if it's written down, what if there's cameras in the room, or if somebody ends up seeing that piece of paper, then you're in trouble. So there is that risk. So if you don't want that risk, you can just have the physical keys, and you could just keep good physical control of those physical keys. If one gets lost or stolen, you can disable it using your other keys. And if someone has that one key, there's no way that they could hack into your wallet unless they had your device, like your specific vault too. So unless the whole thing gets stolen, it's going to be really hard. And this also is protected by biometrics too. So, they're going to have to cut your finger off or something to be able to to really get into this device. And as long as you have, some other keys, you can always remotely disable whichever ones get stolen. And if somebody steals the vault, that doesn't matter. Like the vault, the vault can't produce the keys. It doesn't store the keys. It's just a full node. It's just part of a network that helps you access your wallet if you have the keys. But good questions, though. Those are some of the same questions that I had too. I love the look of the wallet. It looks like something Tesla would have built. That is exactly what I said. And you know what? One of the other co-founder, the one that's not a previous aerospace engineer, the other guy is a really high-profile designer, like an artistic designer, even like graphical designer. Very, very high profile, very, very expensive to commission him. And so what happens when you put an aerospace engineer and a luxury, graphics designer together? Well, you get this. So I am these guys are raising $1 million for their current rounds. And like it filled up pretty quick. Like it's already more than half filled up, and they've only talked to like 4 or 5 people total, including me. So this is definitely going to be a hot one, like for a number of reasons. First of all, just look at what they're doing, and obviously it's super cool. It's very cutting edge, and there's nobody else competing with them at all for the luxury market or anything like this, or even like the safety level that this provides. So I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited that Wise, like we're literally going to be like the super duper good partners. Like we're not going to be just, in an app store that you can download on Klaviyo. No, we're going to be integrated into the very device so that it's actually going to suggest to people, hey, put your money on Wise Lending. So I'm very excited about that. So anyways, where does that bring us? Did I hit everything? I feel like there's so much. I probably forgot a few things, but that's okay. I'll just make more videos or just more streams, and then we will talk some more about that. But yeah, so I actually got through all of that a lot faster than I thought I was going to be able to do. So very efficient. So let me open it up for some final questions. So basically we'll be put in front of 3,000 to 1,000 whales. That's actually less because some of these companies want a bunch of them, like want like 50 vaults, for instance, because there's many applications for this. So like device service, private club, curated network. So if you're like a hotel or like something, or if you're a big business, you may want like 20 of these vaults, and one in every location. You may want 50. So some of these clients want their own vaults to have their own little private network, and they're just going to use it for their business. And in that case, like they don't even need to find like 3,000 to 10,000 people. Yet you would need much less. They only really need to find a couple hundred people, of the right people to maybe 1,000 people at most, to be able to completely sell out their first 10,000. And then after they sell the 10,000, they're not trying to sell another 20,000, another 30,000 devices. That's not it. Their whole business model is based on the services that the vault provides. So it's about providing services to those 10,000 that they initially sell, and then slowly adding to it. It's going to be like a freaking Bugatti car, where it's actually hard to buy a Bugatti. You have to not everybody can buy a Bugatti. It doesn't matter if you have $100 million. Not everybody can buy a Bugatti. And so it's going to be like that. This is an exclusive network with a concierge service that is something that all the rich whales are going to want. It's a service exclusively provided by Klaviyo, and Klaviyo makes their money off of not the devices themselves, like Trezor, Ledger. They have to keep on selling those, little devices. Not Klaviyo. That's not how they make their money. Although they do make a nice chunk off the devices. It's not really about the devices. It's about the ecosystem that they're creating with it, and it's about the concierge service, the apps, the user experience for these elite people to like as they're using Clavi to navigate crypto. Like people are going to be navigating crypto using the Clavi device rather than like their phone or like a computer. And it's going to be a much better user experience than using a phone or computer because it's a device just made for crypto. So they can cut out all the BS, steps that are in place because of compatibility issues with like your phone or your computer, because you have a device that's like made specifically for navigating crypto apps. So super excited about that. Sounds like some amazing brand value for Wise. Oh, guys, I remember what I forgot to talk about. I freaking forgot to talk about Wise, and this is the most that I wanted to talk. This is the biggest thing that I actually wanted to talk about. So I talked about it a little bit as what Wise token is being better than this other token that's just rugged, this MELD token. However, I want to talk about a community. Because with Murad and meme coins and all this stuff happening, I came to realize that we kind of missed an opportunity over the last years, kind of not. And the opportunity we missed was to build a cult community for Wise token and to grow that community over even over the time of the last 3 years when we've been building. And my thoughts about that were, I didn't really spend a lot of time communicating and building our community over the past 3 years because I've been focused on the tech. And I thought, what is there to talk about until our stuff is live, right? So I wanted to bring the tech across the finish line and then build the community. But you know what? We didn't actually have to do that because Wise token is actually freaking amazing. The fact that it's got hundreds of millions of liquidity, the fact that it's already fully diluted, the fact that it has no VCs, the fact that it has, no cabal, no whales, that's huge. And the fact that it's got a price floor in ETH, which is something no other token has, those alone is enough. Like we can build a community just for Wise, even before we've got $100 million in revenue for flowing to Wise token. Even before that, we can make this thing pump. I know we can. Like we can pump Wise, and that value is going to come just from building a cult-like community. And so, what do I mean by that? Let's actually look at some materials. I've got two things right here. Let's see what we got. Now, these are directly from Murad's slides. And so the first one here is that meme coins offer a lot of utility, which is interesting because the whole thing has been, meme coins don't have any utility, right? They got no product, right? But what this really means is that here is the utility that a community provides. So having fun, loneliness reduction, just, having a community, identity, finding a similar crew, hope provisioning, friendships, being part of the cutting edge culture, a sense of belonging, a guild in the MMORPG that is crypto, experience and teamwork, greater sense of participation and contribution compared to software alts, reliability plus emotional connection, relatability plus emotional connection, mission, meaning, entertainment, being happy, charity, collective artistic expression, collective imagined reality, collective storytelling and lore building, defying social norms, hilarious to think about getting rich off memes, reflexive self-fulfilling prophecy, and finally volatility, aka trading vehicle, aka the token. And it doesn't matter if there's no revenue. So this is when the light bulb went on in my head, because this is so true. It doesn't even matter if there's no revenue yet. The cool thing about us is that we're going to have revenue. So won't that just make it even more, amazing once we do have that revenue? People are paying for those services by participating, by buying the token. This doesn't apply to just meme coins, by the way. And this is true because Wise token is not a true meme coin. It's not a meme coin. It's an altcoin. This applies to altcoins as well. And I would say there's no other altcoin that this applies to more than Wise tokens, because most other altcoins are dead upon arrival because they have terrible tokenomics, because they have got this huge balloon of dilution that's going to happen. And Wise token started without any of that. It's already fully diluted. It's as concentrated as you can be. It's going to become more concentrated as people buy more. And memes just do a better job due to structural tokenomic emotional reasons. So this has never rung truer to me. What actually matters? And here's some things that actually matter in the community. Poor people getting rich. I talked about, people have cashed out 250 million plus in WISE tokens. There's people that have gotten rich off a WISE token, and not just a few, a lot of them. Excuse me. Perceived maximum upside. Guys, we have an incredibly high potential upside because you guys know the reason why we created such a huge liquidity for WISE? It's because WISE is a reserve token. We want people to hold WISE instead of ETH or in addition to ETH. We want people to pair their liquidity pairs with WISE instead of ETH. And when people start doing that, our potential market cap goes up exponentially. We could have hundreds of billions of dollars in market cap once people start doing that. So the perceived maximum upside, it is through the roof. We're talking, WISE to $50, WISE to $100. This is the potential maximum upside. Token distribution. We have an impeccable token distribution. There's no whales. Attention, we don't have much of that yet. That's what we need to work on. Fairness, we are literally the fairest token on the face of the earth. We are even fairer than meme coins, because even meme coins, which are quote unquote fair and other fair launch tokens, they start with tiny liquidity. So it's not fair because the first couple people that got in got a chunk and now they're a whale. There's no whales in WISE because we started off with $82 million in liquidity. So we are the quintessential fair token. There's no token that's fairer than WISE. Not even Ethereum, not even Bitcoin. Like even Ethereum and Bitcoin are less fair than WISE and have bigger whales proportionally than what WISE has. Organic price discovery, we had all organic price discovery. We went 20x to our all-time high. That was all organic. And that can happen again very easily because we're already fully diluted and we don't have whales. Eliminating class warfare, bitterness, sure, no unlocks. Exactly. We don't have whales. We don't have big unlocks happening. We don't have any unlocks happening. No supply overhang. Exactly. So all these things that he's saying, this is what makes a meme coin good. This is WISE. WISE is the ultimate meme coin. And it's not just a meme coin, but it's got everything else that we've created behind it that's going to make it just so much better. So evangelism, community participation, authenticity. This is WISE. Like we have cultivated a community and a culture of what? Fairness, decentralization, and trust. Everything that we do is like decentralized to the nth degree. This is something that you can trust. And when people talk about believe in something, there's nothing better to believe in than WISE that actually has got its core values in line. Like it's not just some meme coin that's like, planting trees or, donating to a charity. Okay, all those things are great, but there's nothing better. There's nothing better to believe in if you're a crypto person than to believe in decentralization and fairness and the equity of everybody involved. No VC having to buy at market. Yeah, we had no VCs. No cabal having to buy at market. If we have a cabal, yeah, they have to buy at markets. So we're checking off every single box. Who the whales are? Well, guess what? We don't even have whales. This is not just a green check mark. This is a green freaking super rocket to Mars, to Venus, to Pluto. This is we're outperforming the top performance of this chart that's possible. Who is talking about it on social media? Hey, we just hired a marketing firm. We're doing a lot better on that. And actually, we do have a huge reach because of the fact that we've had Wise Maxi, who has been running our Twitter accounts and doing an amazing job with the replies. So let me jump to the bottom real quick. The last point here is free cult labor. And do you know what? Wise Maxi, who is, not anybody special. I don't know him in real life besides, video conference calls a few times, but I didn't know who he was before Wise. He is a community member in Wise that understands Wise, chose to, buy some Wise, believes in Wise. And what did he do? He volunteered to run our Twitter account. And now he spends like 10 plus hours a day doing replies. He wakes up at 4 a.m. every single morning. He's been doing this for months. He's generated millions, sometimes over 10 million impressions on our Twitter accounts. This is free cult labor. Now we are paying him. By the way, we're not paying him anything that he is worth. I can't wait until the day where we can pay Wise Maxi what he is worth. Because right now we're just running a skeleton crew. We're trying to get to profitability, and he's definitely not getting paid what he's worth. And the first several months, he was doing this completely for free. So free cult labor. We had somebody who made wiseinfo.io. That was free cult labor. Completely for free. They decided to make a third-party website. We now have another third-party website because wiseinfo.io, the guy, isn't working on it anymore. We've got a new one now. That's free code labor. We're checking this box multiple times. We've got all the things that's going to make a massively successful meme coin. And we're even better than a meme coin because we're not a meme coin. We're a meme coin plus. Let's go back. The concept, the meme. So we don't have like a meme, but we have Wise. We have the Wise Owl. Our Wise Owl AIR is very recognizable on Twitter. There's not a lot of people doing owls, and I think the concept of that is really cool. We also have the concept of being wise, making a wise investment. Yoda. Yoda is a very wise little guy from Star Wars. We got Yoda. Actually, the Satoshi, the smallest part of a Wise token, like the smallest part of a Bitcoin is called a Satoshi. The smallest part of a Wise token is called a Yoda because Yoda is very wise. So we do have these iconic things that can make people think about Wise, and I think that's a really good concept. Our message, guess what? Our message is decentralization and fairness and bulletproof yield. What better message can you have than bulletproof yield? Who doesn't want bulletproof yield? Decentralization, check. Cultiness, that's us. Like I want more of that. I want more cultiness in Wise. I want more people diehard. People not selling. Now, here's the thing. We have had a lot of sellers in Wise. And so this is something that we can improve in. But I want to be clear here. It's never good to FUD the sellers or to be nasty to the sellers, because that is, like, first of all, that's just not nice. That's extremely toxic. And, you want people to be able to cash out. Some people need to cash out. And like I said, there's been over 250 million of people that cashed out in Wise. But guys, if we're going to build a real cult, we need to start putting people up on a pedestal that aren't selling. The people that make 42-year stakes, the people that make 5-year stakes, 10-year stakes, those are the people that we should put on a pedestal. We should also put on a pedestal people that, regardless of how long their stake is, they're not selling until Wise reaches $5. They're not selling until Wise reaches $10, that kind of thing. So I think we can improve here. Like we could really improve here, because part of the ways to really make a coin pump is to build a following of people that are going to delusionally hold. Like they're going to be delusional about holding and not selling. The people that want to make generational wealth, people that are not putting in the farm. Like, don't bet the farm on Wise. Like if you got however much savings, don't put 99% of it in Wise, because then you're going to be upset when it doesn't go up immediately and create generational wealth overnight. Put the amount of money into Wise that you can put in with confidence, knowing that if I never get this back, it's going to be okay. And I'm going to also believe that this is going to go to $10, and I'm going to delusionally hold until that time. So if we can start putting those type of people on a pedestal and start building cultiness around that, man, that's going to do incredible things to us, especially since we know Wise token is going to go up already. We're raising $10 million. We launched our product. Our product is gaining traction. We're launching RWA Vault soon. We got $50 million coming onto the platform. All this is going to create buying pressure for Wise. We got a marketing team that's doing a great job. eventually we're going to start seeing traction from that, which is going to turn into people buying Wise. So we know Wise is going to go up. We're also sitting at our price floor for ETH. So Wise is going up anyway. Wise is up today because ETH almost hit $3,000. So we know that Wise is going to go up regardless. We know that there's outside factors that are going to make Wise go up, even versus Ethereum. And so this is just going to add to it. People not selling, that's just going to add to it. Right now, we pretty much don't have any sellers whatsoever, besides people that either end stakes. Like that's it. People like end their stake and they're like, I've been doing this for 3 years, 4 years. They end their stake and then they sell because they don't know. So we need to, first of all, discover who those people are. I need to start building a cult of people who don't sell, because selling now is like, it hurts me every time I see it. It's like a tragedy to sell now because we're sitting at our price floor in Ethereum. Those people are going to be so sad when they see Wise at $10. They're going to be so sad when they see Wise at $1. And so that stuff is important. Emotion. Like you can see the emotion on me right now, but there's also a lot of diehard people in Wise. Like the core of people we have right now are emotional about Wise. Like I'm emotional about Wise. Like they care and they care deeply. And I think there's the potential to care so much more about Wise than there is, some meme coin. No matter how cool the meme is, no matter how nice the community is, like there's potential for Wise to be better. A good story, a good narrative. Hell, we have the best story. Are you kidding me? I'm somebody who, not rich. I sold my house to put the money into cryptocurrency, bought Ethereum with it at, that was with the COVID drop, bought Ethereum at $80, which allowed me to actually fund the team through our launch this token and put my entire net worth into it. And even as my net worth has grown, I've been putting all of it back into Wise because I care about Wise so much. I literally sold my house during the auction to convert it to ETH to buy Wise at the market rate. At the market rate. I didn't get Wise for free. What kind of a story is that? And then we raised $41 million of ETH and ended up creating the #1 liquidity pool on Uniswap that is still the biggest liquidity pool on Uniswap version 2 today, and is actually the second biggest if you include version 3 too. Like, can you beat that story? Are you kidding me? We didn't have any KOLs. We didn't have any cabal. It was just me on my YouTube channel, and the community, believed in something, and the community got excited, got emotional, and we went viral. And, Wise reaches all-time high of $350 million in market cap back in 2020, which, by the way, we're going to smash this. Like, we're going to absolutely smash that. It's going to be so easy to cross into billions and billions of dollars in market cap for Wise, possibly even this cycle. So a good story. Yeah, we have that in ACES. Freshness of a narrative. Well, meme coins are the fresh narrative. And I don't know about freshness of the narrative, but how about quality of the narrative? I don't think enough people care about bulletproof yield. I don't think a lot of people realize, how good bulletproof yield is and how good it can be. So that's the narrative that we need to push. Making people want to be part of that thing, that group, that movement. It's just, let's create a cult of people that are cool. And back to this point about people not selling. Like this is why you can't hate on people that do sell. No, it's not about that. But let's build up the people that aren't selling, and let's create a culture that is, nice and friendly and helpful and educational, and that's inspiration to people. So participation, stickiness, that's what we want to build. And then once again, we're back down to free cult labor. So guys, the potential for Wise is insanely high. Like I literally think that it is very possible that in the next 3 years, Wise token could be a top 3 crypto by market cap. I truly believe that because Wise, it's not just a good meme coin with a bunch of liquidity, but the fact that we have giant liquidity, the fact that we created our token with no VCs, no cabal, and that is even better distributed than Ethereum is, and then Bitcoin is, like smaller proportional whales than Bitcoin and Ethereum. We literally have got all the pieces where we can become a top 5, a top 3 crypto by market cap potentially. Like if this truly is able to take off, if we can truly get some big projects to start pairing their liquidity with Wise, that's going to create a chain reaction. People are going to start recognizing Wise as the token to hold on Ethereum, even better than holding Ethereum, because you already get the value of Ethereum because Wise is backed by Ethereum, and you get all this extra value that's being created by Wise lending and by the cult of Wise token followers that are not selling and that are, going viral and growing the community, bringing more people in and getting more people to buy Wise. By the way, when somebody pairs their tokens with Wise, they're buying Wise. They are swapping their Ethereum for Wise. So they've got their token paired with Wise, and that is a buy. That is one big buy. So if they create $10 million worth of liquidity, that's $10 million worth of Wise buying. So guys, this is the potential. Like when that happens, 100%, we're going to be like a top 3 crypto, top 5 crypto at least, if this vision actually comes into fruition. So going back into perceived maximum upside, our perceived maximum upside is insane. Like there's no meme coins right now that you could look at and be like, this could potentially become a top 3 crypto. No, they're meme coins. Like even the best meme coin is not going to compete with or come close to the market cap of Ethereum and Bitcoin. This is literally a reserve token backed by Ethereum. So in essence, it's an extension of Ethereum. So so it piggybacks off of Ethereum and creates this additional value and has the potential, if people accept it, which they will as we grow, all that we need is our token price to go up. That's what brings attention and causes people to really dig into this. And right now we don't have a lot of eyeballs, but once we do have those eyeballs that are going to come when our token goes up, and it's going to go up, those eyeballs are going to start doing their research and they're going to start getting their minds blown. And all of a sudden Wise is going to be a huge narrative. And this vision that I have of Wise being an actual reserve token is going to happen. And when that happens, the reason we can become a top 3 crypto is because Wise is a reserve token. It's literally an extension. It's like a special partition extension of Ethereum. It's because it's built on top of Ethereum and has the potential to totally encapsulate, what Ethereum is. I'll give you an example. Curve protocol. It's a decentralized exchange. Curve protocol has completely been gobbled up by this other protocol called Convex. Convex makes Curve more efficient and gives people higher APYs than you could just by using Curve. And so Convex has completely gobbled up all of what Curve is. Basically, so Curve now has basically one customer, and that one customer is Convex, and Convex has gobbled up like what Curve is. Wise token, as a true reserve token, has the potential to do the same thing. It can gobble up all the Ethereum. The maximum upside is the majority of Ethereum being in our Wise Ethereum pair. That is the end game here. Like, I want millions and tens of millions of Ethereum to be in our Uniswap Wise Ethereum pair. And so if we are truly successful, that is something that is on the table that can happen. Wise can become that reserve token status. And when that does happen, we can literally gobble up all the Ethereum in the entire ecosystem. So man, like this is my life's work, guys. This is a vision that I had, in 2017. In 2017, I set out to create a better cryptocurrency, a cryptocurrency that was actually backed by something. I had the idea of it being a reserve token back then, but mostly I just wanted something like the gold-backed dollar. So it was backed by Ethereum, and that's where the whole idea came in there. And so that was the vision. I've been working very hard to bring that vision to fruition. And I'm very happy with everything that we've done so far. Like there's been mistakes. Sure, there's been mistakes, but we're doing pretty well right now. So like the biggest mistakes really didn't do anything except slow me down a little bit. If I were to do this over again, we could probably be where we are right now in 2 years rather than 4 years. But like these things only happen once. You only get one shot, and here's where we are. I put my whole life into this. I'm very happy with the way it was designed. It has incredible potential. Like the upside potential for what Wise can be is enormous. Like I just shared with you, it can literally gobble up the entire Ethereum ecosystem if it works, as planned, which it will. And so all we have to do is just start pushing those dominoes, and then eventually those dominoes are going to start falling over by themselves. So I hope that makes you excited. I hope you will join me in, putting some effort, put in some free cult labor, whatever you can do. I've been basically working for free, haven't been able to cash out for Wise at all. Like the only time that I sell crypto is to pay the devs, because I ran out of money to pay the devs. So that's the only time that I sell my crypto. And I've been able to cash out. Yeah, I've been free cult labor for the entire organization for the past 4 years. And it's going to be that way for forever, how long it takes. And we've had some other free cult members as well. It's not going to take long before you guys can start to see this, because the gears are already in motion. So I know that once the ball starts rolling, we're going to get more free cult labor too, because it's a lot easier to be free cult labor when the price of the token is going up, right? And that's just going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy, and we're going to be just fine. But I want to start right now, and I want to start putting the message out, because we have a nice core of people that are very cultish and that are very diehard, and we need to grow that. And this is how we grow that. Like these are the values that we need to have. This is what actually matters. And so this is the war cry for you guys right now. So anyways, I think we did go for almost 2 hours there. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much for being fantastic followers. You would be a perfect Shark Tank candidate. that would be great. Total dedication. That's one thing I do have. And, I thank my military career for that. I'm not in the military anymore. I was for 15 years, U.S. Army. But, if there's one thing I do have, it's grit. You're not going to see me giving up. It's not going to happen. And it's also too late right now. Like my entire net worth is in Wise, and I can't liquidate it until it's successful. So this is it for me. This is my life's work, and I have the grit, I have the mental fortitude to see this through. And I'm very happy about the prospects right now. Like I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the stream. I'm going to try to stream more. Sorry, I haven't been super consistent the last couple weeks on that. There's been just so much going on, but I will commit to stream more. And I've also got some dedicated videos too for you guys. But thank you so much for your dedication. Let's build a cult. Let's pump Wise. Like we're doing it for the right reasons. And there's no better coin to be cultish about than Wise. So I hope you guys see that. I definitely do. Have a great day. Have a great weekend.